Have you ever wanted a job so badly that you would do almost anything to get that job? I mean, jump off a bridge, fly in a rocket ship, sell your soul. I don't know, but I know many of you people have thought about doing that. And once you got into that job, you found out it wasn't what it was cracked up to be. Well, let me tell you about somebody in this episode who did exactly that, and their job was gone.
Welcome to the Licensed to Live show, where professionals, doctors, champions, VIPs, attorneys, and those in public office discover strategies that help you restart and gain what is lost when you find yourself accused. If another has doubted your integrity, questioned your credentials, or caused your actions to come under scrutiny, you are in the right place. On the other hand, if you have never felt the knot in the pit of your stomach when legal papers are served, the heartbreak of disappointing your family when the lock clicks shut on handcuffs, or had to appear before a board of review, then be aware, the longer you serve, the more likely you are to find yourself under the microscope of those who judge. Prepare yourself for this uncomfortable possibility. Now, here's your host, Dr. Jarrett Patton.
Welcome to this episode of Licensed to Live. My name is Dr. Jarrett Patton, and I am your host for our journey together today and every day you choose to listen to this show. If you or anyone you know has been dissed in their career, please invite them to join us along this journey. Whether they're dissatisfied, disengaged, disgruntled, all of that is applicable. Simply go to your favorite podcast player and hit subscribe to Licensed to Live. And while you're there, please rate this episode and give me honest feedback so I make sure I provide you with the most up-to-date information about career challenges and life changes. Yeah, and today you're right. We are talking about wanting those jobs so badly you give up almost anything to get them. And once you get in that position, you realize this is not for me, if you're lucky. But sometimes you get forced out, you get booted out, you get kicked out, and you have no say in the issue. And we're going to talk about somebody who did exactly that right after we finish thanking our sponsors. Hey, this is Dr. Jarrett Patton. Do you need more positivity in your life? No matter what part of your life you want to transform, positive affirmations can help you achieve your goals. But sometimes making permanent changes can be difficult. Designed with you in mind, Licensed to Live. Daily affirmations to rebuild your life will inspire and equip you to become the best version of yourself. Licensed to Live. Daily affirmations to rebuild your life will set you on the path to changing your mindset, beliefs, speech, and ultimately your actions. You can change your life now by getting your copy at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, your finer book retails, or licensedtolive.com. That's licensedtolive.com.
Something smells good. EH3 coffee. EH3 coffee. Premium organic. Nothing better than waking up. EH3 in your cup. Premium organic. EH3 coffee. Nothing better than in the middle of your day. EH3 coffee. Premium organic. EH3 coffee.
Hey guys, this is Janae Noonan, and I'm here with Dr. Jarrett on Licensed to Live. Hit the subscribe, follow the journey, let's go.
Well, I tell you, it's great to be back in the studio. Sometimes when you're on the road, you're going here and there and you're stopping at various places. I get to meet lots of great people while I'm out. You guys know I like meeting new people. I'm meeting new people, whether virtually through LinkedIn or any other social media or in person when I'm out on stage. And recently I just had an extraordinary time with the people of Pittsburgh. So shout out to Pittsburgh out there. They showed me a great time out there and ultimately led to a brief appearance on Monday Night Football. But hey, I have fun with what I do, and that's what I'm trying to help all of you guys do as well. I've spent several years, as you know, building this podcast, building this brand, and yes, License to Live is federally trademarked by me. Yeah, and books, entertainment, coaching, you name it. It's here, and I know a lot of you guys made remarks on one of my recent posts on LinkedIn when I was giving that public service announcement about that trademark. And every once in a while, you just have to put it out there so that people know that is part of your intellectual property. And you know, I've had multiple episodes on intellectual property in the past, and I'll probably bring up another one again in the future, but you got to protect yourself. Protect yourself while you can. Now, let's get into the topic of today's situation. I know that, and I can even think back to some jobs that I really, really wanted. In fact, one of the jobs that I wanted the most came in high school. I worked on a local community board of directors. Well, they were student board of directors, obviously, because I was in high school, for a local bank. And I thought it was pretty cool learning about the banking industry, what it does, and some of the decisions that are made in banks. And I knew that I wanted to move forward with getting myself together and say, hey, maybe banking is the right career for me. I could see more about it. And for all of the student board members, they usually had 1 or 2 job openings for the summer that you could start. And I wanted this job badly. I just knew this is going to be the best job ever. I'll quit my sports teams. I'll quit my after school activities. I want this job. I didn't even know what the pay was. It didn't even matter because I said, this is something I want to do. And ultimately, I did stop playing soccer because I wanted to work after school. Ultimately, I gave up, a couple of other things in order to work. And I thought it was great because I was exchanging time for a paycheck and it was all good. But once I got to that job, my starting position was in the mailroom. And, I'm only in high school. Any job is a good job. But I just couldn't see my future going forward in the mailroom. And luckily for me, that time was very short because they started getting me to do other things like manage some of the ATMs and load it with cash and get all the balance slips out of it and all that kind of stuff. And ultimately, they trained me as a teller, which was really a fun job. And that actually, as a high school student and a recent high school grad, was a great job to have. And it paid pretty well comparatively to my other high school classmates. But I did have to give up a few things in order to get that way. So I could have been playing MLS soccer for all I know. I could have been doing some other things, but I made that decision in life that I would give up these fun things that I used to like to do in order to take this job. And that has repeated over my lifetime and time again. I have done it with, making that step into medicine and taking jobs in medicine. Sometimes kind of takes you on that thing. You want a job pretty badly and you're trying to do everything to get the job. And if you're lucky and you get picked, you're in good shape. But sometimes people go too far in these situations. They go way too far in these situations and it works to their detriment. So I'm going to call this person out by name because I thought it was crazy when he was doing it. It looked crazy. And that's good old Representative McCarthy. For those of you who don't know, he was the Speaker of the House. And he really wanted that job. So as a politician, you got to really want your job because you got to be elected. You got to go around shaking hands, kissing babies, making statements about your policies and procedures and all those kind of things. But they tend to go on a different level and it tend to go on to something that, well, it blossoms into many other things. But it wasn't enough that he was a senator. He really wanted to be Speaker of the House. And if you guys don't remember exactly what happened, it was pretty historic trying to bring him into the Speaker of the House because he actually had to take that vote in the House 15 times before they passed him. I remember just seeing his face after the first time it failed and the second time it failed and after 3 or 4 times it failed. But they had to continue to garner support and engage in this exact position for him 15 times before somebody finally said, for crying out loud, can we stop this already? Just let the man have the job. And that was only the beginning of the story. I quite frankly don't know a whole lot of what he did in between the time he got the job after 15 votes and the time he left the job, which is very recently. In fact, he didn't finish a full year. He didn't finish, any kind of lengthy term in this before people were tired of him and said, let's get rid of him. And in one singular vote, he was ousted. Now, I'm not telling this story to talk about politics. I'm not telling the story to talk about Democrats, Republicans, and others. I am simply talking about this story in regards to someone wanting a job so badly that they would do anything. They would be voted against 14 times. I think after the first few, hey, you guys don't want me here? Okay, I'm out. Thank you very much. Somebody else can do this job because I'm not the right person for it. Yes, 15 times it took him to get in. He would do anything. And I think that's probably what got him into trouble. He may have made too many promises he couldn't keep to get those last few votes to get the job. And yes, people were sick of it right away. And in one singular vote, which is hard to do in Washington, one singular vote got him right out of there. And he was left in the dust. He is no longer Speaker of the House. So I want you guys to think about this in your own lives, because there are times in your life you want a job, you want it for certain reasons, you're looking for that something that is going to make your life better. And sometimes it doesn't go the way that you wanted it to go, but it still goes in some manner. Now, hopefully he's learning some very valuable lessons in here, and he will be able to take this forward and use this, everything he's built up to this point, to go on and continue a job and do something else in the House of Reps, serving our Congress. But he will go on to do whatever he's going to do. But you've got to think about the things that you give up when you want to take a new job. And I'm going to get into that right after we finish thanking our sponsor.
The time is now to refresh your career. We help doctors, lawyers, executives, and VIPs refresh and restart. Dr. Jarrett's coaching helps you build confidence, gain more credibility, develop more leadership skills, and gain clarity in your career path. Want to climb the executive ladder or branch out on your own? We'll put your career in overdrive. Visit drjarrett.com and sign up for your free strategy session.
People ask me this all the time. Is it really that easy, Dr. Jarrett? Well, yeah. I meet with people all the time, near and far, far and wide, up and down. It's just part of what I do. And if at any point you want to meet with me, you want to pick my brain, time with Dr. Jarrett, so simple. You get right on my calendar, and next thing you know, at our appointed time, we're popping up in Zoom, and we are getting some pure things to help straighten out your life and particularly your career pathway. Whether you want to climb the corporate ladder or you're looking to do something completely different out of your industry, there is a pathway out there for everyone. You just need to find your path. And that's what I help people do. So anytime, reach out. Before you sign that contract, before you get started, there's a few things you should do before you get yourself into a world of trouble. And next thing you know, you're thrown right out of that place. Now, he should have had some warning signs, frankly. If it took him that many votes to get himself in, he should have, or at least someone in his camp, and I'll get that to tip number 3, should have said, hey, looks like the people don't want you here. Why are you forcing yourself to be in this position? Maybe somebody else could do it. And I wish he had simply listened to that advice, because that was historic. It was extreme that you just sit there through so many no votes. Then who knows what you have to do to get those last few votes. And I don't know what he said to people, but whatever he said must have ticked some of them off, and they turned right back around and got him out of here. So the first tip I want you guys to think about before you sign that new contract is give yourself a pure gut check on this. Why did I apply for this position? Why do I want to do this job? Is it for the money? Is it for the prestige? Which, by the way, those aren't 2 good reasons. Those are 2 reasons that usually wind you up with lots of dissatisfaction. So you become dissed because you are thinking about the wrong things. But you got to give yourself a gut check and say, why this job? Why now in my life? Why am I taking it? And you need to ask yourself and be honest with yourself, because sometimes it is the money. Sometimes it is the prestige. And if it's those 2 things, it's not that they're bad, but they aren't long standing. They aren't going to get you through good times and bad. It will be fun in the beginning, and you'll have a whirlwind of fun in the onboarding events. But with time, that will fade away. The money doesn't become as impressive. The prestige becomes a little bit mundane and normal in your life, and you lose the appreciation for some of that. And that's simply not enough. So please, before you sign that contract, give yourself a gut check. Number 2, align these things according to your purpose. You need to know what your purpose is, number 1, in this life. And many of us and all you fire starters listening to this show know your primary desire is to help people. That's what leads you into professions like healthcare, because you want to help people. But stay true to your purpose. Find what that purpose is amongst all of your peers, amongst all of your family members, amongst yourself, most importantly. Know what that true purpose is. And if you can get a job that is in line with your purpose in life, not the company's purpose, not the mission statement, your personal values, your personal purpose, it becomes much easier for you to continue to do good things and wake up and go to that job every single day, because it's in line with you. So if you're finding something that's out of line, or something that seems glitzy and glamorous, and it's not really in line with some of your core principles, it's not going to be a long-term job for you. You're going to find the frustration and the burnout and the things that happen that got you looking for a new job in the first place. So you'll be right back on Indeed or right back in LinkedIn looking for those jobs. And if you are hanging out looking for jobs on LinkedIn, don't forget to connect with me. You can find me on LinkedIn and all social media at Dr. Jarrett. Spell out the word doctor, J-A, 2 R's, E, 1 T. And the final tip I'll give you guys today is, if you've gone through the gut check, you're staying true to your purpose, just ask for a little help. If you can't figure it out, ask for a little help. There's nothing wrong with asking your spouse, asking a partner, asking a friend, hey, let me talk this out with you. Let me see what you're thinking. Just get a fresh set of eyes on the situation, because sometimes in the courting process, you can be swooned and bamboozled and enthralled with all of the great things that they're promising and offering for you. And you lose track of why you are looking for a new job and why you're changing jobs or why you're looking into another industry in the first place. So ask for help. Even if it comes from a friend or family member, you may have a trusted mentor or a coach or somebody that you trust and can work with to look at this situation, and just do it. Ask for a consult. No big deal. That's a part of healthcare. We ask for consults all the time. Let me get a second opinion on this. Let me think this through. Why would we not do this with our own life situations? These are big time deals. And yeah, it's just another job. Or yeah, it's just another position. But this is a big time decision in your life that you spend so much time in. Why wouldn't you ask for a little help in getting some further clarity or getting some outside eyes on this? Because it's something that's been very well needed. I know my daughter has been going through something very similar. She's been looking for a new job, trying to figure her way. So luckily her dad's a career coach, and he can really get down in the details and help organize her new job search and plan in a good method. But her experience is no different than many others out there. People are looking for people to employ, and they may tell you anything or offer to give you anything to get you in the door, because the job market can be hard for some positions sometimes. And people get tired of spending money on marketing and recruiting, and you still don't have anybody in the job. So then they just start promising the world. So don't fall into any of these traps, folks. Simply ask for help. Ask a friend, ask a family member, ask somebody who's been there before. They're going to have your back more so than the person trying to court you and bring you into the new organization. So remember these three tips. Get your gut check, stay true to your purpose, and ask for a little help. These three things will help you have a much better start and have much better longevity. Remember, fire starters, if you or anyone you know has been disengaged, dissatisfied, disgruntled, or disenfranchised with their career, please invite them to join us along this journey. Simply go to your favorite podcast player and hit subscribe to License to Live. And while you're there, please rate this episode and give me honest feedback so I make sure I'm providing you with the most up-to-date information about career challenges and life changes. And hey, like I said before, connect with me anywhere, particularly on LinkedIn, where I hang out in between the episodes. And until we connect, I'll see you next time.
No matter how disheartening the moment of accusation sounds, how deep the pain of immobilization stabs, or how bleak your future looks, no one can take away your license to live. Keep Dr. Jarrett's expertise handy and unlock your future. Go to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or another podcast player and subscribe right now to Licensed to Live. See you next time.